meal, but we've reached the point in the day where I'd like to have a few speeches. At my father's request, I think I would have gotten up and said something anyway, but since he asked me, I will even more so. I will start by saying thank you to my parents for gathering us all today. I've known for many years, and I've said this at previous get-togethers, my parents throw really good parties. I've known that for many years. And this is another such party. From the people you gather, to the location, to the food. It's all very well done, and I'm sure that everybody is enjoying themselves. So, thank you. I think it's especially appropriate to start off the new year with this kind of a celebration. I would guess that 2016 was quite trying for many of us, and so my hope for all of us here today is that a celebration like this, as we start 2017, would really characterize the new year as it sits in front of us. So, cheers cheers to an outstanding 2017 for all of us. Well, actually, we have to glass to that. So, cheers, everybody. So, as we know, we're here to celebrate both my father's retirement as well as his 70th birthday, which falls next Friday. And as I've been reflecting on these two elements of our celebration, three things come to mind. Over the past year, as his retirement... It has a mind of its own. Yeah. Now I'm used to that, so it's fine. I teach, yeah, so. As my father's retirement has approached, I've had both friends in San Francisco as well as friends and family here ask me, what is your dad going to do after he retires? And even now, what is your dad going to do now that he's retired? In fact, my sister Catherine, who is sitting in the corner over here, tried to have that same conversation with him twice this morning and failed to get a clear answer. So I think that that's yet to be determined. Maybe when my dad comes up here, he'll give us a more concrete idea of what his retirement will look like. But as I thought about it, there are two qualities that my dad embodies that are not going to change just because he has stopped working. The first is his generosity. My father is generous almost to a fault. That's not a complaint because I've been a beneficiary of that for many years. And I've never asked my dad what motivated him throughout his career. But I think had I asked him, I'm guessing that part of his motivation would have been, I work hard so that I can provide well for my family. And indeed he has over the years, and certainly we are very thankful to you, Dad, for your hard work. The only difference now is that you're not working. But I can... You're not working professionally, but I believe that you will still carry the same generous heart to those around you. The second characteristic is a certain effortlessness that my dad brought to his professional activities. You see, I knew for many years that my dad was a lawyer, but that was kind of all I knew because my dad never brought work home with him. Is that better? No. My dad rarely to never brought work home with him, and this wasn't only in his more recent years as a judge. This characterized his early years as a young attorney as well. So these are examples. My dad was always home for dinner, and maybe the exception when Catherine and I were young was that on one night a week he taught a law school class, and so that was the day that we knew Dad wasn't home for dinner, but he would come home as soon as he was done, and then there would be family time. He didn't work, he didn't go into the office, or he didn't stay in the office late at night. He didn't go to the office on the weekends either, and even as a judge, he was home. And he was able to participate in our activities growing up. Catherine and I have many videotapes of our swim meets, of our concerts, because my dad was always able to be there for them. And while he worked hard, he was also the consummate family man, and that's really how I knew him. And long before work-life balance or work-life integration was fashionable, I think my dad embodied it. And even though his professional career has now come to a close, I'm pretty sure that there's just going to be a certain effortlessness that still characterizes his life. Certainly, if that characterized his working years, retirement, I think, would be even easier. So as my dad enters into retirement, I am looking, I will remember the professional part of his life as being very generous and seemingly very effortless. So, kudos to you, Dad, for making it look easy and being such a giving and generous person. As we're also here to celebrate my dad's birthday, another characteristic comes to mind. I don't think it's any secret to any of us gathered here today, and my dad has had a number of health challenges recently, but he's always weathered those very well. And so what comes to mind as I think about him turning 70 next Friday is a spirit of discipline that really characterizes his life. And, work and life are not necessarily mutually exclusive. I'm sure it was that same discipline that enabled him to succeed professionally as well. But let's think for a second. I think people know this about my dad. He's now beat cancer twice. And, his back is healing well. And so, that also is the spirit of a survivor. But my dad, unlike many people I know, is very diligent about taking care of himself, whether that's his physical therapy exercises or doing whatever he needs to do to stay healthy. In the last 2 years, heal himself. I think that characteristic in particular has served him well. It's something that I really appreciate about him because it's something that he models well for me, that spirit of discipline that enables him to be the survivor that he is. It's not everybody who even makes it to 70, much less beats cancer twice and has major back surgery. So I do emulate you, Dad, in that regard for being so disciplined. Really a strong, silent type, never to rarely complaining about the situations that life has handed you, but overcoming them. This is as a short example, when my dad and I were on the phone and he was sharing his most recent cancer diagnosis. It was as simple as, well, I beat it 30 years ago and I'll beat it again. Very matter of fact. Okay, well, that helps people not to worry. And I think that we all hop on board with his spirit of strength and determination and that discipline that he brings to his life. So as my dad turns 70 and as he retires, these are the things that I admire most about him. I'm sure that other people can get up and say, talk about many other things, but your generosity, the way you make life look effortless, and your strong discipline. Thank you for modeling those for me. I will say that I hope you and Mom both enjoy retirement. I mentioned my mother, even though this is my dad's retirement, because I'm also guessing that, well, this is important because I think when my dad gets up to take the mic, I anticipate that the first person he'll acknowledge will be my mother. If it's not, it should be. But congratulations on your retirement. I hope it's enjoyable for the both of you. And cheers to on your 70th birthday. Next week.
Okay, I'm not used to using a mic, so you have to tell me if it's working. If Kevin had not acknowledged me, I would have acknowledged myself. Nurse extraordinaire the last 2 years. We're really grateful to see all of your faces here and glad to see them all smiling and enjoying yourselves. David first mentioned that he wanted a small get together to celebrate his retirement and his 70th birthday. It's okay, you know, they give you cute little tables. And as he kept giving me these names, I thought, whoa, this guy wants to celebrate. So here we are. But he wanted his family and his dearest friends and our table of foster children with him.
I'm blood, by the way. I'm legitimate.
Kevin is legitimate. These guys, bunch of nuts. I'm trying to do some house cleaning first. Many of you have complimented my jacket, and I just want to let you know that Faye Koyanagi made this for me. And thank you. She doesn't do this commercially, but this lady here, Elizabeth Kent, has a business called Vested Interest, and you can also go to Magnolia's at Kahala Mall to see some of her work. And these two ladies, both lawyers and Faye a judge, a retired judge, they have a different idea of somebody's trash is my treasure. They go dumpster diving in Japan for the fabrics. But anyway, thank you, Faye, and thank you, Elizabeth. I've gotten many gifts from her so far. Now it's for David. I could not...
From the trash to...
trash. I could not ask for a greater husband. He really is kind, generous, and loving. And we've had a tough 2 years, but he has been so positive that it's made it hard for me to be down, because everything about David is up. And he was going to beat prostate cancer, and by God he did. He was going to beat his back surgery. I kept telling him, you've got so much sick leave, just go out and retire. And he said he wasn't going out as a sick man, he was going to be healthy, and that's what he did. And we still have a few challenges ahead of us, making sure that infection doesn't reappear. But boy, when he is completely well and gets the word, the okay from the doctor, he owes me big time. I've got back-to-back cruises planned. I've got 32-day cruises planned. I plan to make do, boy, make do. He owes me. But anyway, we're just so happy that you could all join us today, and I know David is thrilled. We're especially thrilled that we've got to spend the week with our kids and our grandkids. Catherine is over here at this table, and I think many of you have seen her wandering around doing little things. And our bundle of sunshine in yellow, Malia, our granddaughter, who is 11, and she has been the greatest help. And then there's Kainoa, our 13-year-old, who is almost 6'2", and still growing. Our other grandson has stepped away with his dad, but that's Kekoa, and he's 15, and Dad is a handsome blue-eyed Howie. But anyway, David, I'm not going to turn it over to him just yet. Well, maybe I will, and then I'll come back for birthday cake. You want to do it now?
Oh no.
I wasn't going to speak, and I'm not even the deputy chief judge anymore. I'm retired as well.
Anyway, David, this is your clock from the judiciary. Mine is not unwrapped yet either, so I hope it'll wake you up for your physical therapy.
I became friends with David in the course of, we were legal counsel for different clients. David was instrumental in my becoming an attorney on my own, and he would give me work to do. And David, what I really appreciated the most about you was your Zen-like quality. When you would look me in the eye, when I would present you something, you would say things like, "What the hell were you thinking?" Communicated very effectively. Over the years, seeing you and your family, your generosity, your spirit, the spirit of your family, it's my great pleasure to know you. And thank you for letting us be a part of today.
I'm Roby Bell. David and I have known each other for many, many years. And starting around 1997, up until a couple of years ago, 50, 45, 50 Sundays out of the year, David and I would walk together on Honolulu Beach. We'd do about 4 miles. When we started out, we were doing 4 miles. And with all due respect to Kevin and his feeling that his dad did everything effortlessly, I'm here to tell you that last mile at Waimanalo Beach, he was in my ear. What are we doing this for? Get out of here. This is a dumb idea. But tonight, or this afternoon, you'll see the peanuts that are on everybody's plate. David and I had a deal at Waimanalo where at the end of every walk, we were going to reward ourselves. And my deal was, I can bring the beer, he brought us the peanuts. And this is what he did. He baked peanuts every Sunday so that we would have fun at the end of our walk, which was, as I said, not always so effortless. But it's been wonderful, David. Congratulations on your retirement. And I'll see you at the beach.
My name is Les. I'm Uncle David's nephew, and I'm here to speak on behalf of my mom, her brother, and our family. I brought Sophia up here. She's my 4-year-old daughter, and I have a 6-year-old son. And I was trying to explain to Sophia what retirement is all about. It's a pretty tough thing, and Uncle David, you can explain it to her after. But I told her, I said, well, you stop working and you do whatever you want. And she immediately asked, Daddy, why don't you retire now? But as Kevin was sharing, my Uncle David has been a role model. And as I raise my 2 children, I try to think of who do I want them to be like and what are the values that we want to instill in them. And I'll share a few stories. From a very young age, no matter how well I did at school, my parents would always say, remember Uncle David, you need to be smart, but you also need to be good with people. And I'll be open, it was pretty frustrating. No matter how well, it was always like, you got to worry about people, you got to pay attention to them, because that's the secret to success. And so with my kids, even for this party, I told them, make sure you say hi to everybody, make sure you say bye to everybody, and make sure you know how to talk to people, because it's a good time to practice. The next is actually something on the family side that you might not always see, but I saw it growing up, and it took me a while to understand. In fact, only with children now I understand it. That there was the coconut wireless that I think many of us have with our families, right? Coordinating activities, but Uncle David was always in the middle of it. But it would be in weird ways. He would call up my grandma would then call up my mom, then she would call back and say that date doesn't work, and it would go back and forth, and it happens to this day, not with our grandma anymore. But Uncle David will email my mom will forward the email, I'll say the date doesn't work, then he'll switch the date, they'll switch the time. But then what's behind it is that the bonds that Uncle David has with others, especially his family, are extremely important. So just last week we had a great party, and it carried to the next generation. Sophia here got to meet Kai, Malia, and the next generation. And he had a gathering at his house, something very simple, but he made sure that everybody could make it and everybody had a good time. last thing before Sophia gets me off the stage is the next thing is that I teach my children that they're best friends forever. And when I look at my mom, Uncle David, Uncle Bob, the three of them grew up and they spent a ton of time together. And families have their ups and downs over the years, closeness, distance, whatever it may be. And I still remember my dad saying, you don't see it now all the time, but as siblings, they are best friends and they will do anything for each other. And I think that's really neat. So I actually tell I chant to my children that they're best friends forever. And I think that those values and those types of things that Uncle David, you taught me over the years, directly and indirectly, thank you. Congratulations on an amazing career, and good luck to you in retirement, and good luck especially to Auntie Diane in retirement.
Dave, thank you on behalf of your classmates, the 8 of us gathered here in class of 64 of Iolani School. We'd like to thank you and wish you a happy 70th birthday. You finally caught up to us. And a good retirement. And really, Dave, in my estimation, didn't work that hard. Because he would meet me for lunch, take an early recess, and then I go, Dave, what do you have to do? I said, no wonder there's so much backlog in the courts. Anyway, so Dave, you know where I live, still live in Kulio Valley. He and I grew up actually in Kulio. He lived across the highway on the waterfront. I lived in the valley. And his mom actually taught me in 3rd grade at Kokohead Elementary School. And then we became classmates at Iolani. So Dave is so proud of his family. I know his beautiful granddaughter and his grandson always showing me pictures about in his football uniform, going to the Super Bowl. So keep it up. And thank you, and Diane, you deserve a medal and a woman. Thank you.
Not to be outdone by my son Leslie, I decided to take the podium. I'm Ken, and the husband of David's sister, Lucille. Anyway, I know there's a lot of people that know David for a long time, but I've known him for a long time. That is, even before I met my wife, which was a long time ago. Greater than 50 years. In any case, I first met David when he came to Iolani School as an irrepressible 7th grader, always wanting to keep up with the big boys, always being very socially adept in putting out himself and saying, here I am. And that has remained throughout his career and his life. And it is obviously, as others have mentioned, one of his greatest assets. He knew at an early age how to deal with people, how to treat people. And he, with his intelligence and with his persistent hard work, made his way through the ranks to become a very accomplished attorney as well as a judge. But that aside, I want to thank him for his generosity as well as his willingness to participate in the ins and outs of a long, I don't know if you call it experience, but a long time of working with the ins and outs of an extended family. And he was always in the forefront of all of these. He has been very generous to my family, and I appreciate that. I want to wish him a happy birthday. I want to wish him good health as a former health provider. I think that is still, although I'm not in the business, I think that is an important asset.
Uncle David's
Coconut Wireless works for the rest of Yohana. But I wanted to introduce myself. I'm Ake. I've got a lot of memories of my friend David. He's a very good friend. Just two I want to share with you. For a while, he and I both belonged to the Clark Hatch Fitness Club in Honolulu, where the owner was totally paranoid that we would think to take these raggedy gym uniforms home and keep them for our own. And I was wondering about David after he became a member, because he would leave the gym in the morning with wearing a t-shirt, often with holes in it and whatnot, or no necks. He'd come back to the gym shirtless, and I what the heck is going on here, David? But this will tell you something about David, because what happened to that shirt is when David saw a homeless person, that homeless person became a member of Clark Hatch Fitness. And David, in his generosity, he knew it was going to drive Bill Munson crazy, and that was fine with him. My other memory is why I could introduce myself as Ake. David strongly supported Iolani's school. His kids went to Iolani's school. One year, they were selling Christmas trees. His kids were involved in that. And he approached me about a Christmas tree. Just talk a little bit about it. I said, no, I don't do Christmas trees. I don't spend the money on a Christmas tree. A little while later, he gave me a card to go get a Christmas tree. And lucky for my wife, once I did that and got a free Christmas tree, from then on, of course, my wife had a very nice Christmas tree every Christmas. I also got the nickname Ake. So thank you very much.
He's been truly a wonderful person that I'll never forget. First of all, let's start off how it happened. Well, for those of you who don't know, I work in the courthouse. I basically just run everything and see where see where people need to be and stuff like that. But I still can remember the first day I walked into his chambers, and he invited me in, and coming from a judge, it was kind of like, well, he wants me to come in here and sit in here and talk to him about things, and that's how it all started. And every morning we'd come up, we have a routine, we come in, have coffee, call each other boss, and just have a good day. And I would truly miss that. Coming upstairs and knocking on your door and seeing if you're in there. I will miss that. Speaking for everybody else, I'm pretty sure everybody else will miss that. It's grown to a family. Like, we come in there, we all speak about life and just general. We will miss that. And the coffee, the good times, and everybody. I'm just kind of speechless up here, but I want to wish you a great retirement, and I hope you enjoy every day of it. And we're available for lunch whenever you need. Not at 10 o'clock though, because well, maybe 11 or so.
That's after senior citizen hours.
Well, early bird ends at 10:30, so just remember that, okay? We have to be there before 10:30. But Tandy will never be the same without you. And once again, I wish you guys both success, and thank you for everything you've done for us and the courthouse, and truly be missed. So thank you.
Hi, my name is Lois. Unlike Judge Lowe and Wally, the table ladies at table 5, we work for the division, or work. Some of us are still employed. We do all the hard work, we do the labor, unlike these other gentlemen. We truly wish you the best. We wish Diane even more, because she has the hardest job of it all. She has to look after you after all. So for those of us at table 5, those that are working still, and those that are retired, we wish you the very best. We love you all.
With so many nice things already said, I don't know what to add. allow me to have Eddie Oshiro stand up. Eddie, I just want to let you know, like me, just retired last week from the DOE after 48 years. So let's.
And we're 70 years old.
We're not getting to that. Last week or several weeks ago, I ran into another classmate, Ron Reynolds, at a concert, and he said, "David, when you gonna make 71?" I said, "Whoa." I haven't even turned 70 yet. So, and it was a nice time. It's really a nice gathering here. I thank you all for both being my birthday coming up and for retirement. I guess most of you are wondering, I heard it maybe 200 times today, what are you going to do? Well, Diane's email address is Diane loves to travel, so I know we're going to be doing a lot of traveling, but I guess all of you know I've been having some challenging health issues in the last 2 years. I'm very happy to say that I'm on my way to recovery. In fact, those of you who see me frequently can see the difference that I have improved in the last few months. So I believe that first in order, at least first part of 2017, would be to continue my rehab, which I'm actively pursuing, and that is really helping me. I also thinking of opening up my Kahala branch of the Makuli Club. So if any of you want to come join me, please do. My grandson over here might join me too. Everyone's laughing. And let me know if you like the peanuts, okay? Because I'm also considering opening up a stand at the spot. If folks like this, okay? So those are the possibilities. I know Louis Dell has been a strong supporter over the years. Nathan Oshima was here with his sisters and part of our family. But his sister won't let Nathan eat peanuts at her house because he makes such a big mess. So, anyway, thank you all for being here. It's meant a lot to me. I miss you all, but I will, like Wally said, I'm available for lunch. 7:30 in the morning. Breakfast is at 4. Okay, thanks again, and I know there's some staunch USC fans here that want to get home and watch the Rose Bowl. So anyway, thank you, and safe travels, and Happy New Year.
To you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear David. Happy birthday to you. Birthday to you.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much.